What is happening, guys? Today we got a new Lords of the Fallen official extended gameplay overview. Let's watch this together. I have not watched this yet. I just got up and I just saw this on my feed, so let's watch it.
And sprawling world of Lords of the Fallen. In today's extended gameplay walkthrough, we're sharing an exclusive look at just some of the diverse and harrowing areas you'll journey through in your epic quest to overthrow Adyr, the demon god.
That was a fast unsheath.
This is Skyrest Bridge. It is guarded by Pieta, she of the Blessed Renewal, one of the game's early boss encounters.
Character models look good.
We must triumph against her in order to proceed with our holy charge to restore radiance to the 6 beacons of the Sentinels and thwart Adyr's uprising.
O holy Aureus, by your radiance grant me the strength to continue to endure these dark days, to lay bare the path to salvation. And yet you now appear before me, a stranger, a betrayal made flesh, and one I cannot brook.
Melee, magic, and ranged abilities are seamlessly interwoven. Alongside standard attacks, you can choose between catalysts, bows, crossbows, or throwables, mapping up to 4 additional magic or range skills to your controller for immediate access. This rapidly speeds up combat and reduces the need to swap between options. As with many of the imposing bosses you'll encounter, Pieta has 2 very distinct stages. Death is not necessarily the end in Lords of the Fallen. When slain in Axiom, the realm of the living, you'll resurrect in Umbral, the realm of the dead.
Oh,
we now
wow.
have one final chance to survive.
That's interesting. The parry and critical kind of looked cheesy. Huh.
Though few and far between, these flowers denote special patches of ground upon which we can spawn a resting point, known as a vestige seedling. These come at a significant resource cost, however, and we can only spawn 1 at a time. The realms of Axiom and Umbral exist in parallel. Each world features its own unique pathways, enemies, characters, and, of course, treasures. We can now use this crafted vestige to return to Axiom.
Ah. So it's kind of like a campfire, but between 2 realms. Interesting. It's pretty unique. It's innovative, that's for sure. Combat looks slow. I mean, it looks better than the first one, at least. The first one was really clunky. It still looks like it has a heavy feel to it.
We can peer into the secondary realm at any time by raising the Umbral lamp.
Why would you want to
Though
do
be
that,
advised,
though?
this also renders you vulnerable to its inhabitants.
Huh.
We will now use the lamp to cross over to Umbral, though doing so will consume one of our 2 lives, and it isn't so easy to return to the world of the living.
Okay, so he did that so he could cross that bridge, I guess.
Many enemies require a different approach to combat. This mendacious visage, for example, is only vulnerable when attacked from the back, or when it reveals its true form.
Okay, combat looks faster here. The enemy looks pretty interesting too. Very unique enemy-looking creatures. I mean, it just looked kind of creepy. I'd like to see some other weapons. I hope they show us some other weapons here.
You'll also come across permanent vestiges on your travels. As well as using these to return to Axiom, you can also level up your stats at these locations.
Ah, that's a campfire.
Three schools of sorcery can be mastered: Rugar, Radiant, and Umbral, each specializing in a different area of the arcane and requiring a different catalyst to cast. Our current build is adept in Rugar, characterized by devastating pyromantic attacks.
I hope it's just YouTube's quality, downscaling the video at times during motion. That's kind of just weird. When you're in motion, there's a lot of shaders going kind of crazy. And I hope that's just YouTube's side of doing things, and not the actual game. It probably isn't the game, it's probably just YouTube. So yeah, combat does look faster. It just depends on the class you're using, apparently, it looks like. Look at that Souls fashion. He's got crazy hair, a cape.
An age-old borough built into the very cliff face, Pilgrims Perch typifies the verticality of Moonstead. There are myriad pathways stretching both above and below, with hidden areas, treasures, and NPCs all awaiting discovery.
Wow, that's a really slow climb on ladder. My question is, do those things stay there then? Are they like a permanent bonfire? Or do they go away if you rest at another bonfire? Does he have a tail too? Yeah, he has a tail. It's pretty long range magic.
As a lamp bearer, all players are equipped with a devastating ability, the Soul Flay. By using one of a limited number of soul charges, we are able to extract the very soul of an enemy, ready to inflict significant damage.
Huh. It seems kind of broken though in a way, but maybe you can only do it on certain circumstances. Yeah, the ladder climbing is super slow. Ooh, summons. Hey man, I really hope it's just YouTube, these graphics. I mean, we're watching at 1440p. I really hope it's YouTube. It has to be. Because it's dropping down at times like bad. Oh, that's why you would peek into the other world. See if you could transfer over and see if that's how you could make it to your objective. That's neat. That is pretty cool.
The Soul Flay ability can also be used to manipulate the very environment when in Umbral.
Is there a jump? That looked like a jump. I hope you can do that. Just on command. Jump attacks, man. Jump attacks. Ooh, we get to see the menu. Big, strong, strength weapon. It still sounds like a little paper plate hitting the enemy, though. That's kind of sounds... It needs to have a more wallop hit to it, sound to it. It should sound so much more epic than that when you hit something with something heavy. Like when in Elden Ring, when you hit something with the Guts Greatsword, you know you hit that thing with the Guts Greatsword. It has weight to it.
We now find ourselves in Lower Cowrath, an ever-burning district, renowned for its displays of barbarity.
Fire looks cheesy. The fire could definitely be improved on graphic-wise. And again, the hits sound so flat. Ping, 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 ping. It has no weight to it, man.
We're now going to invite a second player to join us on our journey. This is
co-op.
easily achieved at any of the vestiges. You can choose to fight alongside a friend or a randomly selected player. Either way, your co-op companion will remain at your side for as long as you or they choose.
Oh, nice. Seamless co-op.
As a Radiant Sorcerer, our ally is able to buff either character with various enhancements.
I'd like to see the HUD. I mean, it's cool that they turn the HUD off and that you can turn the HUD off and play. But I want to see the HUD, what the HUD looks like. I think every weapon has the same hit sound, like even these little... The environments look interesting, though there's a lot of variety. Everything has been pretty dark, so though, which makes sense. I mean, Lords of the Fallen in general is a dark place. All the sounds just have no the sounds just are not floating the boat here.
It appears our way is blocked by an umbral entity. We will need to track its tendrils in order to locate and expel the source of its power.
Ah, so there's kind of like those are kind of puzzles too, kind of tied into the world using the two realms. That's cool. I like that. It's more variety in the gameplay. That's never a bad thing.
Finally, it's time to face off against the colossal spurned progeny, Scourge of Cowrath.
Damn. Kind of looks like Michael Myers, in a way. Just the way the eyes are. Okay, that attack had some heavy sound to it, some echo to it. That sounded pretty epic.
The lands of Mornstead await you. Pre-order Lords of the Fallen now and prepare to unleash the darkness on Friday the 13th of October.
Friday the 13th, nice. Alright. So I think there's serious potential here. But I also, there's a lot of things I dislike too, like the sounds of the weapons hitting. I think that's a problem. Maybe not for a lot of people. Maybe some people be like, I don't care about the sound. But when I play a game, I like to be immersed into it. And I want those attacks to feel like they are actually doing something to the enemy. I want a difference between if I'm using a longsword to hit an enemy and if I'm using a dagger. Those attacks should sound different. And from what we saw, they sound pretty similar here, and that I think that could be something that could draw this back. Now the other realm,
return to the world of the living.
That's cool. I like how you can just switch realms. That's really interesting, and how they've kind of built two different games on top of each other because the realms are apparently different. You know, you get stuck on one realm and you transfer to the other one. That's really cool. Co-op was seamless. It looked like once you brought somebody into the world, they were there until you wanted them to leave or until you were just done. So basically you could transfer to different realms, it looked like, with that other person. It looks like here when they transfer over and do that puzzle, right about here, somewhere in here they did, that co-op person was with them here solving this puzzle.
To locate and expel the source of its power.
So yeah, they were clearly going through right here and solving the puzzle together. So that's really cool that the co-op carries over to that. The overall world, the environments, they look good. I mean, there's a bright level. I mean, here we see, it's not everything is dark. People that only don't like dark levels, it looks like there is some light levels. Looks like there's a lot of obstacle courses on these levels, and it looks like we're gonna have to transfer over to the other realm too, which is neat. That all looks cool. The overall big boss battle, that was kind of cool at the end. I wish they would have showed us a little bit more of that if there was a phase 2, like if he looked different or something during phase 2, that would have been kind of neat to see. If there was a transformation phase. The music sounded pretty good. I mean, it's just kind of like overall epic orchestra music, which it's not bad. I mean, it could grow on you, and as long as it's different for different bosses. I hate when games use the same boss music for boss after boss. That was one of my main gripes with Sekiro. I would go to bed at night hearing that violin in the background from all the boss fights that I would die endlessly to, because it was the same music throughout the game on that one. This fight looked good. The fact is, some of these like boss attacks too, they kind of have just a weighted, heavy feel to it that, it's interesting. I don't know if that's a bad thing. It's just an interesting thing to look like when the boss slams down. I noticed a lot of the things they showed us here. There was a lot of just slam downs. This fight overall, though, kind of with the main character, the character you're playing at, kind of looked like it was a little heavy. Maybe it's just because he's using a broadsword. Because then when you look at this guy, Mr. Tail Guy, he's just all going whip, 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 and just being a badass, rolling around, being fast and on his feet, dexterity build, mixed with magic, which is cool. So that's going to show a good variety of builds too here. Overall, I think this has a lot of potential, and it looks way better than the first one. The first one, clunky, very clunky. There was a lot of problems with the first one, and I feel like they capitalized on a lot of those problems. So I mean, I'll probably buy it. I probably buy it. I'll probably either do a Let's Play or play it live on stream. But yeah, tell me what you guys think in the comments. Are you guys psyched for this? Do you guys just kind of recall the first Lords of the Fallen and you're not even going to bother with this? Or are you going to give the franchise another chance? Let me know in the comments. Give this video a like. Subscribe if you haven't already. I'm trying to get this channel to 1,000 subs. I appreciate every one of you. As always, guys, stay strong. We'll see you next time.